Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about the race that just happened for the Qatar Grand Prix. Now, the race was won by Fabio Di Giannantonio from Pecco Bagnaia, Luca Marini, Maverick Vinales, Brad Binder, Alex Marquez, Fabio Quartararo, Enea Bastianini, Jack Miller, Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez, Johan Zarco, Marco Bezzecchi, Joan Mir, Augusto Fernandez, Franco Morbidelli, Raul Fernandez, Pol Espargaro, and Taka Nakagami was the last one across the line. Aleix Espargaro and Iker Lecuona did not finish the race. Now, I have to say, what a result for Fabio Di Giannantonio. A rider that has no ride for next season has been put in an absolute amazing number of results the past few weeks, and to be very, very fair, it was a well-deserved race. He was thereabouts all weekend, but, at the start of this race, he was quite aggressive, but, sitting in behind Pecco, keeping Pecco honest the whole way through, and with 5 or 6 laps to go, made his move, and, he looked like, to be fair and honest, he belongs in MotoGP. It's very, very hard to take that this guy does not have a ride for next season. Hopefully, he will get that VR46 ride. I think he genuinely deserves to be in the championship. You look at it, he finished 17 seconds ahead of Marco Bezzecchi today. Really unbelievable on the same equipment. Pecco Bagnaia, again, was super aggressive off the start, threaded the eye of the needle into turn 1. It did look like this was going to be a normal kind of Pecco race where, he was controlling things, but, he did nearly clean out Fabio Di Giannantonio shortly after he passed going into turn 1. You could see he drafted up behind him, just didn't have enough braking power to get past him and almost took him out. So definitely was setting hearts racing in Ducati, and as a fan watching it, because you don't want to see the championship decided on a crash. Luca Marini, again, started quite well, but again, he was a bit off the pace, 4 seconds behind Di Giannantonio. But again, solid race for Marini, good for him. Hopefully that the Honda contract will be coming or announced just before the race in Valencia. Really good race from Maverick Vinales, made 4 places overall. I thought he was going to close in on Marini, just was pipped at the post. Brad Binder, solid race weekend, up 5 places in this race. So look, good for Brad. Hopefully he can get that rear tyre issue sorted, that they can make it last and push on towards the later stages of the race. Kind of an okay performance from Alex Marquez, last 3 places over the course of the race. But again, look, it was good, it was solid. It is definitely nice to have a top 6. But unfortunately for him, his teammate won the race in spectacular fashion. Fabio Quartararo as well had a great race, up 6 spots from where he started. It was good, even though that he was 7 seconds off the lead. Definitely a better attempt today for him. Enea Bastianini as well had a good race, up 6 spots. Did help his fellow rider Pecco Bagnaia bypassing Jorge Martin. All those valuable points ahead now. Jack Miller, again, solid race. He actually made 6 places as well in this race. So it's good to see Miller making the tyres last. 11 seconds behind, but 4 seconds behind his teammate, which is not bad for Jack Miller, if I'm very honest. Jorge Martin, the biggest surprise of the day, I suppose. He really got a bad start. The tyre spun up on him trying to get off the grid. Now, I wonder, has something happened to the rear tyre when that happened? Did it move on the rim or something and was thrown off balance? Because he did not look the same metronomic Jorge Martin as yesterday, and definitely there was something up with the rear of that bike. He couldn't get it to do what he wanted it to do. He did have the championship down to 7 points before the start of this race. It is now up at 21 points. Favour is definitely in Pecco's now, I would think. But, all he can do is go there and go for shit or bust next weekend in Valencia. Definitely going to say it was a frustrating race for him. When they got back to the pits, the Pramac team immediately put the shutters down. So definitely they need to investigate what went on with that tyre. Marc Marquez didn't have a good race, didn't have a bad race. Last 4 places from his start. But, look, Marc was towing in qualifying, so that was never the real true reflection of pace of his bike. I think in and around the top 10. So I think it was overall, I think it was a solid one. He was threatening to pass Jorge Martin, and squeaky bum time on a track that's very dirty offline, and Marquez wants to make a pass. But unfortunately, he didn't get to make that pass on Jorge Martin. Johan Zarco had what I will call a dreadful race as well, down 6 spots. Was trying to play rear gunner and keep Marquez away from Jorge Martin. Didn't make a really un-Zarco-like move towards the end on Marc Marquez, but it didn't really work. Marco Bezzecchi lost 1 place over the course of the race. Just didn't seem to have it this weekend. Maybe it is rider fatigue, but like 17 seconds from the lead is definitely not what we would expect from Marco Bezzecchi. So maybe they had a problem, or maybe he was just not feeling it. Joan Mir, and I'm going to say this, had an actually better Grand Prix this weekend. He was up 4 places from qualifying, 5 places from qualifying. Finished 14th, 18 seconds behind, but he wasn't too far behind the likes of Marco Bezzecchi and Johan Zarco. So it was good to see Joan Mir attempting to have a race anyway. Surprised with Augusto Fernandez, dropped 4 places. Not the kind of what I would expect from him at this stage. I would expect him to be towards the top 10. Franco Morbidelli only made 1 place in the race, so not a good race weekend really for him. I'd say he can't wait for the Tuesday after the Valencia Grand Prix to get off that Yamaha. Raul Fernandez, I was hoping a lot for him. He started 9th, ended up 17th, so he lost 8 places over the course of the race. Just not really that good for him. Do you know what I mean? With Maverick up in 4th place, it's definitely something that he needs to look at. Nearly 18 seconds behind Maverick. Polo Espargaro, I genuinely reckon that he is somewhat checked out, if I'm honest. Didn't make a place, but didn't lose a place either, and 27 seconds behind Digi Antonio, which is quite a lot. Taka Nakagami, again, same sort of thing. Even though that he does have a ride for next year, I think he is just trying to play it safe for the end of the season, get off that bike and forget about it. Hopefully that the new Honda that they will test in Valencia may be better, but I don't know. I don't think it will be, if I'm very, very honest. Overall, I thought the race was okay. I think, at the front, the battle at the front was quite good between Digi and Pecco. Definitely with Digi keeping him honest, I suppose. And then, of course, there was a couple of heart-strapping moments there, especially when Pecco nearly took Digi Antonio out. There was some good battles, being very honest. Qatar did deliver. Was a really, really good race. The championship is going down to the wire. 21 points. This time next Sunday, we will know who is the 2023 world champion. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the Qatar Grand Prix? And who is your money on for world champion? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.